This dude got caught stealing Peter Parker's photos and was editing them and claiming them as his own. And then when Peter called him out, he started asking him not to expose them because this is all he has. Even when I was watching this movie for the first time as a child, I was literally shouting at my screen, basically telling Peter to expose him! Expose him! Someone who is lazy, unmotivated, or unwilling to work, especially someone who relies on others for support instead of supporting themselves. More clearly, a bum avoids responsibility, doesn't put in effort into goals, and often expects handouts or lives off of others. If you are over the age of 20 and are living at home with no job and not going to school, there is a chance you are a bum. Yes, you. But just because you're lazy, that doesn't automatically make you a bum. Example, Shikamaru. Shikamaru is one of the laziest people in all of anime, yet he's not a bum. That man gets shit done. To be a bum, you must have at least two of the qualities mentioned earlier. You can have bum tendencies and still not be a bum. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about some of the biggest bums in fiction. But without saying too much, okay, let's go. Okay, let's be honest, we all knew he was gonna be here. This guy's the literal poster boy for bums. He has no job, can rarely do stuff right, and on top of that, he constantly mooches off of SpongeBob. Like, he literally lives under a rock. A rock. He stole SpongeBob's wallet, his chocolate, and his toy. He couldn't even take off the lid from the jar. A lid! Like, what the? All this dude does while SpongeBob is at work is wait for him to get back. He has nothing going for him. He's a bum! He constantly messes up and can't do anything right. He glued SpongeBob into a roller. He can't spell. And he has no motion. Quick story time. When I was a kid, I had this one Patrick stuffed animal, and whenever I was watching the show, I'd have him with me. And whenever Patrick would screw up or do something to annoy me, I would put the beats on him, to say the least. What does that say about me? I don't know. But that doesn't matter. Now that I talked about one of the pink bums, I think I should talk about the other one. This man is literally the biggest bum in his show. No exaggeration. He's a stay-at-home dad that doesn't even take care of the kids, zero employment most of the series, can't do anything right, and on top of that, he lives off of Nicole Fully. This man does not provide, he consumes. Bro, all he does is eat and sleep like the fridge is his full-time career. He will defend the food with his life. He can barely do basic tasks. He can't follow rules. He can't be trusted. And he can't be left alone. And don't get me started on responsibility. Nicole is out here working, stressing, carrying the entire household on her back, and Richard's in the back asleep with cookie crumbs on his shirt. Does he ever think, man, I'm such a fat fucking chud. Bro is a grown-ass man with kids and still listens to his mom. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with listening to your mom, but still. Now I could cut him some slack because the one time he did get a job, did he mess it up? Yes. But also the world also almost kind of ended. So what I can't cut slack for though is... this man is a generational fumbler. Job, fumbled. Baddie, fumbled. This dude got caught stealing Peter Parker's photos and was editing them and claiming them as his own. And then when Peter called him out, he started asking him not to expose them because this is all he has. Even when I was watching this movie for the first time as a child, I was literally shouting at my screen, basically telling Peter to expose him! Expose him! Then bro gets exposed, gets fired, gets his girl taken by the man that exposed him. But then he starts to redeem himself. He goes to church and asks God to kill Peter Parker. What is wrong with this man? He's praying for Peter Parker's downfall instead of praying for his own upbringing. And this is before the symbiote. Once he gets the symbiote, this man really says, yeah, it's time to lock in. This man could have been a hero. He could have rebuilt his life, but he chose revenge over redemption. He kidnapped his ops girl, jumped him with the 2v1, no JJK, lost the 1v1. When he got stripped from the symbiote, he jumped back to get it and got blown up. This dude was taking straight L's throughout the whole movie. He didn't fall from grace, he jumped. Most of those bums were obvious, but a sleeper pick is... Now, I don't know if you guys know my history with this movie, but as a kid, I knew this man was a bum. This man had no job, got his TV repossessed, and was beefing with the 12-year-old. How are you beefing with the 12-year-old? This man presents himself as a shit, but in reality, he was just a bum. Now, there's a difference between one bum and a full team of them. A team like the Now, if you see these guys coming to save you, just know you're cooked. They don't protect the city, they don't train, and they don't do missions. All they do is eat, argue, and destroy their own tower. They live in $1 million tower and somehow still act like they're broke. Make it make sense. Robin's the leader and somehow still got no authority. Cyborg and Beast Boy, full-time clowns, but they're part-time heroes. Raven has god-tier powers and somehow still uses them just to avoid chores. Starfire is the only one semi-trying and she still gets dragged into the nonsense. They trash the tower, fight over pizza, and ignore the actual threats. They got all this power for what? They're practically not even superheroes, they're just roommates that happen to have superpowers. A certified superhero bum squad. Just because you're on a team with a bum doesn't automatically make you a bum. Someone who is on a team with winners but is a bum is... Now, I know you guys are in the comments trying to defend him, but I'm specifically talking about when he wouldn't listen to Ash. Cause bro had all the power, but zero listening skills. Ash is out there training, traveling, getting badges, and Charizard really said, yeah, I'm good off that. This guy would show up to battles, look at Ash, look at the opponent, and just be like, nah. Bro would fall asleep mid-match. Mid-match! Like, what are we doing? Ash is begging, pleading, yelling, calling attacks, and Charizard is just roasting him. And I'm like, literally, he was literally roasting him. He had no respect and no teamwork. All that strength just to be a spectator. This dude made Ash lose so many battles, not because he was weak, simply because he was petty. He literally costed Ash his first league because he didn't want to fight. It took a Poliwhirl beating the shit out of him just to knock some sense into him. That's some bum behavior. Now, he's redeemed himself, he ain't no bum no more, but there was a time where he was. Someone who's never redeemed himself and is still a bum to this day is... This dog constantly mooches off the Griffins. And you guys might be like, well, yeah, he's a dog. Nah! If this dude can drive, he can work. Even though he lives literally rent-free at Peter's house, he constantly tries to sleep with his wife. He's a deadbeat father, a self-proclaimed author. The modern equivalent of that is saying you're a roadrunner and a risk taker. That man is not no author. Brian Griffin is genuinely scum and a bum. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. If I was wrong about any of these picks, let me know in the comments. I'm down to argue in these comments. Try me. If you notice that my voice sounds different, it's because I'm barely getting over a cold. So I'm accepting all y'all's prayers. Please like and subscribe. I'm over halfway to my goal of 500 subscribers. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely love all y'all. God bless. And moral of the story.
Dick Sammy. I'm such a fat fucking chub.
Like